I've come back. When I started my journey to expose the past of 12 years ago, my goal had been abstract, and I hadn't understood. But now, I have no doubts. This journey was induced by several thoughts and fates over 12 years. A journey to reach an end for me, Ushiromiya Anji. And a journey reach an end as the last witch of Mariage Saucier. I came here as the last daughter of the Ushiromiya family, and as the last witch. Dad, Mom, Oni-chan. Sorry. Let me greet Maria Oni-chan first. A strong tailwind urged me on. That tailwind took just my soul out from inside my body to the vast forest beneath me. And though from here on I couldn't see, I believe that it flew me to the mansion on that day. To where everyone was. To where Maria One-chan was. And so, even though my body was on the top of a hill, a strong wind blowing against me, my soul was now certainly dancing through that sky. A vast, vast sky of Rokkenjima. Below me was the green of many trees. But I understand. I can comprehend the presences of my family and relatives, and all the servants. And Maria One-chan too. I could even comprehend Maria One-chan as a witch. It was vast, more so than any vast place I had imagined up until now. Maria Oni-chan. Can you hear me? Listen.
Angie called to the Maria of that day. She told her of her long journey she'd undergone, of her long-delayed realization of just how much she'd wounded Maria in her youth. She understood magic, and now understood everything about the world Maria had wanted to show her. It was very warm, overflowing with love and happiness. She wanted to become even happier by sharing that world.
But I trampled it. So now, I finally understand everything. I understand magic. Our magic is surely very faint and fills the space beside us. But it isn't something that anyone can see with their eyes. Magic is... Yes, I can say it clearly. Without love, it cannot be seen. Sorry, Oni-chan. I've already been excommunicated from the Alliance of Witches. But now, I understand how wonderful it is. And I know that, after the day I wounded you, Mariage Saucier was transfigured into something different from what you truly desired. Even the magic that spat anger by cursing people was probably important to One-chan in those days. One-chan's environment was sad enough to permit that. But now, Those sad days are over. So, let's return Onechan's alliance of witches back to the original Mariar Saucier. The grimoire was in my hands before I realized it. The strong winds were rapidly blowing its pages one after another. That world had been kind in the beginning. How could you give birth to magic that would make candy fall from the sky? How could you give birth to magic that would make tomorrow's dinner cream croquette? How could you give birth to magic that would make the weather good when you went out the next day, making your whole day fun? New spells of happiness were created one after another, coloring her world with kindness. Those days were flipped through one after another. And months began to flash by. The pages with drawings that had once been colorful gradually began to change the color of black ink. Eerie magic circles and demon summonings. Evil magic for harming people. How could you give birth to magic that would cause the class bully to catch a cold? How could you give birth to magic that would seriously injure someone in class so that they died? How could you give birth to magic that would cause a bus loaded with all the bullies to fall off a cliff? Malicious spells were created one after another, burying the pages in her heart. Because I hurt Onechan. Mariar Saucier ended up like this. Onechan isn't a black evil witch. She was a white, pure, innocent, kind witch. I'll return it to how it was. I'll bring back the original Maria Onechan. The one who scattered magic to make people happy across the entire world. That's the reason I came here. I was guided by fate. Maria Onechan, can you hear me? Show yourself before me.
That voice rode an even stronger wind and was sent 12 years into the past. Then, the wind gradually ceased, and silence fell.
I could hear the sound of gravel being stepped on. I listened to those footsteps, surprised at this miracle. Without a doubt, those were Maria Onechan's footsteps. Maria Onechan!
It's Kasumi! Looks like I finally found you, Anchi-chan?
Before I knew it, Aunt Kasumi and her black suits, a total of 7 people who didn't resemble Maria Onechan in the slightest, were standing there, surrounding me. And it felt like my voice had just been about to reach Maria Onechan too. Because of these guys' toxin, that magic was cut off.
Angie clicked her tongue at that, but Kasumi probably didn't hear it that way.
Are those the flowers for your deceased family? How admirable. You're going to throw them, right? Go ahead, we'll wait that long.
Just what are you waiting for?
But Angie could more or less guess. The way the black suits unnaturally stuck their hands in their pockets clearly brought to mind the likelihood that they had handguns. This is a deserted island. There could be no more convenient place to dispose of someone.
I have absolutely no interest in the family matters of the Sumadera family. But if I die, all that wealth will go to them. Unlike me, they're probably very interested and concerned about this matter. Of course, it seems if the massive amounts of stock I own suddenly go to them, it'll be pretty bad for the Ashurmia group as well. And they're apparently having a secret feud, fighting over me all by themselves. That's probably why President Okanogi gave me Amoxa as a guard. Wonderful. Having Amoxa wait on the boat was a regrettable mistake.
Con, can you please turn down whatever the hell is in the background? It's very obvious.
Sorry!
It's fine.
We're waiting.
You gotta do the thing. Let's just enjoy the win for now.
Sorry,
Me
I
and
turned it down and then my chair fell.
Oh.
I'm okay, believe me, it was just the chair.
Hey, Lamau.
Aunt Kasumi, how long have you been waiting for this ambush?
Since early morning.
Dedication.
Thanks to that, I'm completely tired of waiting. After all, there are no cafes or dressing rooms here.
No toilets either, so I guess you had to elegantly drop a load behind a tree. Ack! Ugh.
A lady with half Sumidera blood flowing through her veins will not use such filthy words. You really are Sumidera Kirie's child. Not a trace of grace.
She grabbed me by the hair and forced my face up to hers. And then spat at me. My words might be filthy, but they're no worse than her spit. Every time you talk to me, Aunt Kasumi, it's always about Mom. Am I really that much like my mother?
Yes, you are. That impertinent gaze. Your mouth and your nose are the same too. Freewheeling and irresponsible. You thought of nothing of the long history and tradition of the Sumadere family and selfishly flew out of the house. Thanks to that, my entire life has been devoted to cleaning up your mess.
This sounds more like you're projecting. I guess your life really has been covered with crap. When I was slapped in the cheek, my ear was smashed, and for an instant my head rang. My hair was pulled, spinning me around, and I fell to the ground. And in a flash, the ground was kicked and I was struck with sand.
Yes, you truly are like Nissan. That gaze! That gaze like you're mocking me somehow! Yes, I remember so many things.
You're a sad person. I'll bet that since you were young, you always got compared to Mom and scorned. And your entire life, you'll never be released from that wretchedness.
A little girl like you can possibly understand. You see, your mother is a loser who threw everything away and ran away from the Sumidere family, right? Do you know how much trouble that I went through because of that loser?
Any trouble you went through has nothing to do with me. Sorry, but what am I supposed to do about something that happened before I was born? And when will your life begin? It will never begin. For all eternity, you'll always continue to be sneered at by my dead mother until you die. If only you'd just die. Why are you living?
You little piss. You all. Make her some tea.
Leave it to us. Other guard, get in here.
You big mouth shitty brat. Or I'll teach you a little lesson.
The black suit dashed up to me, violently grabbing me by the nape of my neck and dragged me down.
Do whatever you want to her until my break is over. Teach my cute niece her place.
Sumadera Kasumi. When I think about it, she was a pitiable person. To the outside world, women of the Sumadera family were trained to be in a position that supported and deferred to men. But in actuality, strong leadership was required from them, so that they could manage all the common people. The role demanded of them clearly was that of a female leader, being a commander, like a literal reading of the word okami. Managing the Sumadera family with all its traditions was not something that could be accomplished with just an ordinary level of dignity. It was an unimaginably heavy responsibility. Normally, this would have been demanded of Kirie. Kirie had undergone that harsh training. And Kasumi's the younger sister should have been able to take it easy. No, on the contrary, she had lived like a lazy, selfish, and affluent princess, sneering at Kirie, who had been given a heavy responsibility. However, Kirie had suddenly been disinherited. She had refused the fiancé her parents had arranged and gotten pregnant by her lover, Ushiromiya Rudolph. From the Tsumadera's perspective, even though the Ushiromiya family held a vast fortune, it was a low-level family that had already collapsed. And to become not even a legal wife, but a mistress to the second son of that family. Normally, a daughter of the main family would be shown no mercy for such dishonor. They would wrap her up in a mat, place a pole on the end, and throw her either into the Pacific Ocean if the pole fell to the left, to the right, or to the Sea of Japan if it fell to the left. But Kirie's punishment ended with disinheritance, an unbelievably warm-hearted decision. After that, the Sumadera family began receiving favorable treatment from a section of the Shirofumi group. There must have been some kind of backroom deal. In other words, Kirie openly left the Sumadera family under the pretense of gaining financial support from the Yoshiromiya family. Kasumi had watched it happen in shock. No, she even disparaged her dishonorable sister as a loser. But, eventually, she realized that the heavy responsibilities Kirie had borne would be passed on to her. And then, for the first time, she saw that she'd been outwitted.
It's because of your mother my life was ruined. No, you could even say that she killed me once. On that day, I was killed once and thrown into a hellish life.
Isn't that what you get for making light of life until then? Ugh. Ugh.
Don't you ever stop talking, girl? Yeah!
The black suit punched me in the gut and I doubled over. But I was quickly grabbed by the nape of the neck and made to stand up again. Kasumi cold-heartedly looked down at me smoking a cigarette. The painful days after Kiryu had left were floating through her mind. Until then, she had been allowed to be a simple lady, freewheeling and naive. Only the older sister Kiryu had been harshly trained, and she, the younger sister, had been able to live as nothing more than a princess. Then suddenly everything got flipped over and her life came crashing down.
My life, lifestyle, and the way I lived were all stolen from me. Do you know how much I was derided by those relatives who didn't know the details, all because of my sister's dishonor? I detest her. I detested your mother enough to make me spit blood.
Glad to hear it. Keep up the good work. Bitch. Gah!
A kick landed at Angie's side as she crawled on the ground. Angie didn't stand up again. So she continued to lie like a caterpillar as she was kicked each time she spoke up.
I saw Nissan at the Ishiramiya group party once. She was with her husband, looking very happy and laughing. She pushed everything onto me and found happiness only for herself.
Ugh. So what? How is taking it out on me going to make you happy? Will taking it out on me turn back time and change history or something?
You said something a short while ago. When will my life start? No matter how much I despise you or take out my frustrations on you, I can't turn back time, so I must keep hating my sister, even though she's gone, until I die. You've gotta be kidding me. How long will I have to be tormented by my sister's ghost? So I thought of something. If I could accomplish one thing, I'd be able to forget all of my hatred and start over.
Andrews was to lash back out at her, but stopped. Because she'd be kicked again if she responded. Even if Kasumi didn't say any more, Angie had a pretty good idea of what she meant. Kasumi thought that by taking revenge against Kyrie's daughter, Angie should be able to put an end to her hatred. Talk about pushing your problems on other people.
Come on, stand up. If you like the island that much, I'll bury you deep in it. You don't want to die at your age, right? Don't you feel like saying, "Sorry, my mother caused you so much trouble," or something?
You say something like that.
Ryu! Angie! Angie!
Ajisama, no! You mustn't provoke them. Should at least make it seem like you're going to London so you can buy some time.
They do say you should throw your foolish pride out with the garbage.
Oh, wait! What about Amakusa-san? If Amakusa-san comes, I'm sure.
It's no use. I can't see him. You idiot, Anjisama. Why do you leave Amakusa behind?
I didn't need Mama to tell me. I was seriously regretting it already. I walked a long way. The forest was very thick. I'd got no doubts that signs of activity here won't reach the boat.
During the time it took for Kasumi to finish casually smoking a whole cigarette,
I was continuously tormented by the black suits as she had told them to. The moment I grabbed at my head, my scalp was kicked by someone at a bad angle and my head was filled with stars. The feelings of stars flickering in this gray, twisted world was one I remembered clearly. My life was very similar to the one Sumadera Kasumi led. After all, as the successor to the Yoshiramiya family, I was tormented constantly with various kinds of bullying, under the guise of education and training. Yes, having the inside of my head filled with stars like this is a feeling I know well. When being reprimanded for some error in manners I seem to have made, the discussion always turned to whether I was fitting to be the successor or not. On and on about the honor of the Yoshiramiya family and how deep that was. By the time the conversation reached that point, I'd forget what mistake I was being blamed for in the first place. No, in fact, it was the same for Aunt Ava. After all, sometimes she'd ask herself, what was it again? But in the end, she wouldn't be able to remember and would say something like, "If I'm angry, it must be your fault, Angie. The fact that you're at fault is what matters, so who cares if I can't remember what it was you did?" There'd be some ridiculous reasoning like that, and then she'd keep on punishing me. Yes. And Ava's punishment wasn't something that I could continue until I learned something, or acknowledged my mistake, or apologized. It would continue until Aunt Ava wanted to stop. So this violence was a bit nostalgic, in a way that made me want to vomit. I opened my eyes, and look, there's Aunt Ava. Right next to Kasumi, who's smoking a cigarette. I can see Aunt Ava, almost as though the two of them are laughing together. When I think about it, even Aunt Ava's life might have been a thing worthy of my sympathy. The responsibility and pressure of being a member of the Yoshiramiya family, which she often mentioned to me, had probably caused her great pain. After all, people can't make insults that they've never been the targets of themselves. It was probably the same for Aunt Rosa as well. As the youngest child of the Honorable Shinomiya family, she must have gone through many tough times. So it was just like what Aunt Ava did to me. Just like what Kusumadera Kasumi is doing now. Aunt Rosa must have been the same. People tend to push the pain they're burdened with onto other people. Otherwise, they can never escape from that pain. So on and on, in eternity and perpetuity, the chain of pain and sadness does not end. That is the reason Maria Onechan's magic was so incredible. With her magic, she didn't have to bear the pain caused by Aunt Rosa. The pain probably was pushed onto her. Its weight probably tormented her. But Onechan didn't carry that burden on her own shoulders. She purified it and filled her world with happiness. So I'm sure if Marie Onechan had children in the future, she probably wouldn't have pushed the pain that had been forced onto her children. That chain of pain and sadness that stretched back for who knows how long, which she couldn't understand and which she had inherited, which had been forced onto her. Maria Onechan cut it with her magic. What's wrong? Got a bone to pick with me? In the past, I would have snapped back. I would have met her hatred with hatred, so that they'd cancel each other out. No, nothing got canceled out. The thing that being forced on me ended up right there on my shoulders. Just like how even now, I hate her. So now that I know of magic, I'll look at the human called Ushiromiya Eva again. What I could see through to was a sad human form, no different from me, who had lost her family and who bore, I didn't get to finish reading that, deep wounds in her heart. Unable to withstand the pain of that torn heart, she was doing nothing more than howl sadly, like a lion crying in pain, like a child. Even Shinomiya Eva was someone I should have felt compassion for. She needed someone to understand the difficulties and pain of her childhood years. Even she, who was the only survivor of the Rikkenjima crime. Who was faced with the curiosity of all society. Who was publicly slandered and forced to have salt continually flung into the wound. Had needed someone's compassion. In order to let Eva forget her pain and sadness at least a little. Black Witch taught her magic, just like the times it had possessed Aunt Rosa. It was the same magic of anger and sadness that Beatrice had taught Maria One-chan when she was mourning for her torn-apart friend Sakutaro. That same magic, that witch, had probably dwelled inside Aunt Rosa too. So I mustn't hate Ushiromiya Eva. Maybe I should have become her ally. As the only person in the world who could understand her. What did I say to her when I was young? When she returned alive, all alone? Could it be that I acted as though she'd killed my family, then returned on her own? I can't believe it. Aunt Eva, who has never been more than an object of and a synonym for hatred throughout my life, is turning into a human I can understand. So, I can see, right next to Aunt Eva, the form of the Black Witch who taught her the black magic. Aunt Eva was crying. It was only natural. Not only was no one willing to understand the pain of losing her husband and son at once, but her own relative had insulted her, saying, "Give me back my mom and dad." I can make the excuse that I was merciless because of my youth. However, to her at the time, it had probably been cruel enough to sever the last thread in her heart. In the following days, the talk shows and magazines publicly slandered her. The truth of her husband's business and character, and even her beloved son, were negated. She no longer had anything left. She could do nothing but cry and howl, trying to forget the pain and sadness, at least for a while. After all, she could only feel a tiny bit of release, but only during that time she howled. And so, the Black Witch taught her how to howl. The one I hated was the Black Witch. Black magic can probably release one from that pain for an instant. However, it never lifts that weight from a person's shoulders. On the contrary, it forces that weight onto other further victims, filling the world with hatred. If only Aunt Ava knew of white magic and had a true witch nearby. Shouldn't that have been me? Didn't I learn the magic to create happiness from Maria One-chan? If I taught her with that magic, could we have built a future with a completely different relationship? Up until now, I've hated Aunt Ava constantly. So I didn't notice the Black Witch beside her. Without love, it could not be seen. I didn't have any love for her. So now, finally, I'll glare at the Black Witch, the one I truly should hate. Oh! What's this? You can see me? I see you. The one I shouldn't have hated wasn't Aunt Ava. It's you. Wow, awesome! To think that a lowly human could see a witch like me. So, are you trying to say something with that glare? Do you hate me? Hate? Yes, I do. But that's not quite it. I just think you're sad. Sad? What are you saying? Come on, go ahead. Why not hate me as much as you want? I won't hate. Hating you means I'm doing nothing more than inheriting Aunt Ava's hatred. I'll put a stop to that hatred. I'll accept Aunt Ava's pain, purify it, and throw it away. Ah, what kind of epiphany do you think you've had? Is your head all right? Seriously, if only you just give up and die. You guys, kick her more and more, okay? Not her face, though. 'Cause it'd be boring if her pitiful face got any better. The black suits persistently kicked my stomach and back, as though they had been ordered to by the Black Witch.
My, are you still not suffering after all of that? You keep staring right at me. Do you hate me? I bet you do. Same here.
Kasumi sneered at me. But for some reason, I had the feeling that she was crying behind that expression. Just like me, the pain of being forced into an unreasonable life would never, ever heal. The sad lion gasping in pain from the thorn he can't get out continues to howl. Hey, Sumadera Kasumi, take a look! Over there, it's you as you used to be.
Don't you feel better now? You used to be standing there, but now you're on this side, right? Isn't it great? Don't you like having the roles switched?
Yes, it really does feel great. How can you make that kind of face, Angie? Go on and cry if you want to, alright?
Yes, of course she wants to cry. Make her cry. Didn't someone make you cry back then? So make her cry too. You too, Angie. If only you just break down and cry.
Cry, Angie. I want to see your crying face. Cry and try saying, "I'm sorry, Aunt Kasumi."
Yes, make her say those words. Aren't those words painful? Isn't being made to apologize for something that isn't your fault just the worst pain? Make her feel the same way. By doing that, you can relieve your pain. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Be a little more honest with yourself, okay? If only you just let your emotions run free more, and more, and more!
The Black Witch provoked Kasumi. And Kasumi began to give herself over to that dark emotion. By turning deep sadness into an evil alcohol and forcing it down, trying to forget it for just an instant. Nothing would change. The words Kasumi insulted me with were themselves sad. And I couldn't forgive the Black Witch who had imposed that sadness on Kasumi. I had gone limp, which seemed to have stopped the black suit's kicking competition. Or maybe the kickers were tired too. Kasumi didn't order them to stop, but at some point they did. However, I was reflected in Kasumi's eyes, and they burned me with flames of hatred. She'd been tempted by the witch to do that in order to relive her own pain.
Sumadera Kasumi, you aren't done yet. You've got much more trampling to do, right? Can you forgive what happened to your entire life with just a little violence?
I can't. I still can't forgive her with just this.
Right. There's no way you can forgive her. Do it more. More of the flames of hatred. Nothing can warm you except the fires of hate. After being frozen in the snowfields of anger and sadness, the only flame that can warm you is hatred. Say it, okay? Scream it! If only you just burn yourself to ashes with a roar of hate!
Ushira Mia, Angie! I cannot live without hating you!
Sumadera Kasumi. Look at that bundle of flowers. These flowers are for your dead family, right, Angie?
The Black Witch grinned at me unpleasantly, using her chin to signal Kasumi to pick it up. Kasumi picked up the flowers I was going to offer, brought them all the way over to me, dropped them, and made a show of trampling them. Her expression was filled with hatred, and a frantic quality that couldn't be explained with hatred alone. She trampled them over and over again, as though her sadness was reaching the bursting point. So the sound of her trampling it was just sad.
Oh, still not suffering yet? Then what about this? Sumadera Kasumi. Use this.
No. Not that. The object the Black Witch pointed at was Maria Oni-chan's grimoire. Kasumi also noticed it, and picked up that book, which was heavier than it looked.
What's this?
Why not read it? You might fall over laughing, okay?
Kasumi opened the grimoire, skimming over the contents and snorted derisively. Give it back. That's Oni-chan's. Of course, my hand couldn't reach. My stomach was once again kicked by the black suits, and I doubled over.
See? This book's really important to Angie, right? Don't belittle the things that are important to her, okay? That'll work better than punching or kicking for a girl like her. You know that better than anyone, don't you?
As though remembering something painful, Kasumi's face twisted for an instant.
But that quickly disappeared, changing into a scornful smile directed at me.
Whew, what a creepy book. Did you write this?
Stop it. Give it back.
Look at that face! Belittle it more. Belittle it more. Come on. Teach her the pain of having your dignity trampled. It's the only way to soften your own pain.
What's with this embarrassing book? I'll admit it. I did have a little interest in fortune telling as a girl. But isn't this going a little too far? Magic? Ew. You're one of those, aren't you? It's like in those cartoons where a girl says something something spell and transforms into a magical little witch, right? You like those, don't you? How pathetic.
Cackling, Kasumi opened to a random page and showed it to the black suits. The black suits looked too and guffawed. That sneer didn't wound me. But I couldn't forgive it. After all, that sneer was ridiculing Maria Oni-chan. I don't hate Kasumi. But for forcing that unhealing anger and sadness on Kasumi, I cannot forgive the Black Witch. That Black Witch aimed to Aunt Eva, Sumadera, Kasumi, and Aunt Rosa, tormenting them for an eternity without letting their wounds be healed. I can't forgive her. I can't forgive the Black Witch.
Wow, this is just great. Magic for making candy fall from the sky, you say? What is this? Sprinkle water cleansed by the sun with sugar. Stick the magic staff in and then an incantation. What the hell? It hurts, it hurts.
The black suits were also rolling around guffawing. Then, grinning, the Black Witch whispered something into Kasumi's ear. After glaring at me with a grin, Kasumi took that page. Kasumi grabbed a hold of that page, tore it up, crumpled it up, and threw it away.
So cruel. That was Maria's magic.
Oh, really? How sad.
It was one of the spells to summon happiness that Maria had made with Sakutaro. Anyone knows that making sugar water, coloring it, and leaving it by the window isn't going to make candy fall from the sky. But after repeating that every day, one time on her way home from school, she had found several pieces of candy scattered around. How happy that miracle have made Maria Oni-chan. Didn't she treasure that candy, eating it during her night alone with Sakutaro to distract herself from that loneliness? That magic which Oni-chan had created had been torn and thrown away, and it disappeared. The whole miracle of happiness that magic had given birth to had been torn and thrown away.
This part's great too. Magic to make tonight's dinner cream croquet. What's next? Magic to make bell peppers taste good? That's not bad either. So stupid.
Tear that too. If only you just tear it more and more!
With a brutal loud laugh, the Black Witch made Marione-chan's spells get torn out one after another. She sneered at that happy magic, tore it apart, and threw it away.
Stop it. Stop it. Don't defile Lady Maria's magic. Don't defile it with your filthy toxin!
Mammon cried and yelled, but she had no way of reaching Kasumi.
Come on, why not defile it? Miracles of magic. Magic to bring happiness? No way, nothing like that exists. Don't you know you can't heal pain and sadness without pushing it onto someone else? Hey, you also had those magic friend thingies, right? Sumadera Kasumi, open to that page.
Oh, what's this? Magic friends. The seventh sisters of purgatory. Oh, what a creepy name. It says it can fly at awesome speeds and finish off the enemy. Ah, Andy, if you can use this kind of magic, shouldn't you use it right now? Foolish!
The page that wrote of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory was also heartlessly torn away. The page itself was just paper. It wasn't Mammon's vessel or anything. But the tearing, denying toxin burned Mammon from the inside. Mammon's face twisted from that heat and pain.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Mammon? Hold on!
This match is no problem. It's not me, but Anjisama who's in pain.
However, Mammon's expression was twisted with unbearable anguish and humiliation.
Stop it, Black Witch! Why are you doing something like this? Why can't you just use magic for happiness?
Oh, you're a magic friend too, right? I'll defile you too. Sumadera Kasumi, look for this guy's page too, okay?
What's this one? What's with this crappy scribble of a lion? Sakutaro? What a weird name. My best friend, it says. Really? This is your friend? A close friend? This is a lion, is it? Is it?
It really is a crappy scribble. This ugly lion is totally you. To think she had something like this as a friend. That would shear me and Maria's kid's mind is so pathetic it's embarrassing. What a joke. She's like a moron. If only she'd just give up and die.
Ryu! Don't make fun of Maria.
Stop it. Don't break it.
No way.
No way. That's both of them, fuck. Whoopsies.
There's no way.
There was a shrill sound. The page had been filthily ripped out. The picture of Sakutaro that One-chan had drawn was violently ripped in half.
What a crappy picture.
You all have to, okay?
A pair of the black suits laughed vulgarly and heartlessly trampled the two halves that had been torn and thrown away.
Sakutaro, hang in there.
I'm not sad. I just can't stand it. I can't stand that Maria's being made fun of. And I can't do anything about it.
To the humans who can't see us, it's as though we don't exist. We can only interact with humans that need us. That's why we're furniture.
As Sakutaro and Mammon supported each other, they crouched down, sobbing. I couldn't stand it either. Those who can't see how wonderful the world of magic is can't understand it. You can't explain to humans who can't understand. So it gets belittled. If you could show them it. But you can't. Because in front of humans who are filled with the magic-resisting toxin, and those who can't understand magic, magic cannot be used.
I really don't get it. In this delusional diary, I've got to assume that something's wrong with your head. It really is fun to take a peek into your mind. You creepy child.
Both you and Maria. And that stuffed animal and the furniture over there too, right?
I could laugh. You don't have any friends, do you? You're always so alone, so stuffed animals are your friends. What a pitiable child. Don't worry, I understand. I know what it's like to live that way. So I'll accept it. You really are a pitiable child, right?
you, it would probably look like something made by a pitiful child. That's right. If 100 people were to read Onechan's diary, 100 people would probably think the same thing. I used to be like that too. But you know, despite all of that, Maria Onechan made a world of happiness. Don't deny that magic, that happiness.
Such a stubborn child you are. Very well.
This is the last one.
I'll tear apart the source of the truly foolish magic that you and Maria believed in. Sumadera Kasumi, read this page, okay?
What's this colorful page? What's this? Magic to always be with friends with my beloved mother.
Stop it! Not that page!
This magic's really simple, isn't it? It looks like even I could do it. Even I could remember an incantation this short. Shall I give it a whirl?
It really is a short incantation, isn't it? Okay, give it a try. Let's have everyone spit it out.
With expressions that ridiculed it from the bottom of their hearts, the Black Witch and Kasumi tapered their mouths. And they said it aloud.
Ew.
The black suit stared blankly, asking what the hell that was supposed to be. Then Kasumi answered, cackling.
This is supposed to be an incantation. Are you kidding me?
Come on, why don't you guys try it too?
The black suits imitated that moaning voice, making fun of it. Ooh. That was the incantation for the magic that would let her always be friends with her beloved mother.
What the hell? How stupid. If only you can make family relationships better than just saying, ooh, oh, then the world would always be peaceful.
A stupid moaning voice. Too bad that if you do this over and over again, people think you're a pathetic, stupid kid. Are you a moron?
Stop it! At least don't belittle that magic!
It was the day of a picnic, when Maria Onechan and Aunt Rosa were alone. It was written that this was one of the top 5 happiest days of her life. Onechan was singing a song she'd just learned from her mama. Her mother had been delighted. But partway through, Maria forgot the lyrics. But since she saw her mother was so happy, she tried to sing until the very end. With ooh, ooh, ooh. even though she only pretended to know the lyrics, her mother had enjoyed it a lot. After that, it remained as an incantation to remember the days she'd spent in fun and happiness with her mother. Of course, even though she seemed to find it funny at first, Aunt Rosa eventually tired of hearing it. And eventually started scolding One-chan when she said it. But to One-chan, it was a memory of a fun day that she'd never forget. So among the spells that Maria had created, it was the oldest and the first. Kasumi stuck her fingernails into that page too. Stop it. Don't dare it. At least spare that page.
No way.
The shrill sound, a girl's world of happiness, was erased.
Is this your magic of happiness? Hilarious. Hilarious. There's no way there could be magic to make you happy. Right. Magic is made out of anger and hatred. Right. Happiness is what you call the release of feeling you get only when you've pushed all the hatred you bear onto other people. The happiness you all are talking about is a phantom that doesn't show up outside picture books.
As Kasumi laughed her head off, she slammed the grimoire against the ground and stepped on it.
Can't stand it. Hey, you can't stand it, right? You white witches of happiness. If you can't stand it that much, why don't you show us? Show us your magic! If it exists, then you just have to show us, right? A witch who can't use magic isn't a witch. That's why we're the real witches. You're just brats trying to escape reality with a dream.
Then, if I can show you magic, will you believe in One-chan's magic?
Huh? Yeah, sure. I believe. If you can use magic and show me, that is. Let's see it, you stupid brat!
Silently, slowly, I stood up. Sensations of this cramped world, such as the pain in my body, felt truly trifling.
Oh, looks like you've still got enough energy to stand up, Miss Great Witch.
Now that you've stood up, what are you going to show us? Show us some magic.
Magic exists.
What? What is this kid saying? Did you guys hear that?
Silence! Isn't that interesting? You people always refuse to show this power of miracles because of the magic-resisting toxin. Disciple of the White Witch Maria. Let's see some magic. Do you have any clue how many humans have believed in that miracle before being betrayed? Everyone believes. Everyone is betrayed and despairs. And they learn that true magic can only be gained by the power of black witches like me.
Hitting someone with your hatred is nothing more than a sin. That isn't magic. I'll show you real magic. You! The Black Witch winced slightly. However, Kasumi sneered at me even more.
Then let's have a look. So what kind of magic will you show us? Magic to make candy fall from the sky? Or else magic to make cookies multiply? What?
The instant I opened my eyes, a tremendous wind arose.
Well, what's this all of a sudden?
Come, arise. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory.
What?
There was a flash behind me, and in an instant, 7 pieces of high-level furniture were gathered there. It was a power that far surpassed the magical strength I'd had in my prime. It was a power that matched even Maria One-chan and Beatrice.
Lucifer.
Joshua.
The Seven Sisters of Purgatory, right here.
Jisama,
You said it once. Because I lacked magical power and resolve, I couldn't use you or your sisters. This isn't some cheap emotion like wanting to get back at bullying my classmates. In order to protect Maria One-chan's, Maria Saucier's world, I now order you to show me the miracle of magic.
it's impossible. No matter what you try before such a massive toxin.
The Seven Sisters also remembered what had happened in that classroom. If they could have obeyed Anji's and my orders, they would have. However, surrounded by the toxin that runs thick in humans, they hadn't been able to display the miracle of magic.
Oranji.
And they remembered how deeply that it hurt Angie. But Angie spoke very quietly.
In that case, you all believe too.
Huh?
Maria Saucier was created to bring happiness to people. And also to fight the Black Witch. In order to show that miracle to the foolish Black Witch, who denies the world that one of the founders, the Witch of Origins, Lady Maria, gave birth to, and in order to protect that world, believe in magic, in witches, in miracles, right now.
When Kasumi gave an order to the black suits, one of them took out a gun and pointed it at Angie.
You'll show us magic, right? Then let's have it. Use magic to shoot this man down with a fireball or lightning or something. You'll get one chance. Show us before I count to 3, got it? If you can't, then you better prepare yourself, okay?
Shoot.
What's with this kid? Yeah, she's lost it.
The
The
black
black
suit.
pointing a gun laughed at Angie's detached attitude. It's fine.
Are you serious? This girl has lost her mind. Ah. In that case, get yourself shot. If only you just die.
Angie! It's impossible! You can't block bullets with magic!
No. There's nothing to be afraid of. Compared to my magic, to the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, bullets are nothing.
Angie-sama.
Mammon was perplexed by Angie's absolute trust. If she could comply, she would have. On that day as well. But because she had been unable to do anything, she had hurt Angie. You brat! If you can use magic, let us have a look right now! Other guard.
Huh?
You!
I mean, no, what's wrong? We're telling you to show us magic, right?
Come on, need to hold back, okay? Boo.
That's a Kermit punch.
Show me some magic.
Man, this scene, huh?
Yeah, whatever. At least one unnamed person has to be Kermit.
Yay!
The black suits jeered at her. But Angie simply concentrated her mind in silence.
If only you just shoot! She's even telling you to try and shoot you guys.
This kid's already lost her mind from fear. Bye-bye, Auntie-chan. Go ahead and pretend to be a witch as such as you want in heaven. Fire.
You sure?
Fire! Die, Angie!
If you can do it, then give this magic of yours a try!
The black suit cocked the gun and, sneering, pulled the trigger. The sound of gunfire rang out, and the world stopped. A red spray scattered out, and chunks of flesh flew.
What are you doing, Mammon? Don't tell me you let a boorish pebble of a bullet like this reach Angie-sama.
Lucifer lined up the bullet perfectly, and with a single swing, sliced it. And in the chest of the black suit who had apparently fired the gun was a hole as big as a fist.
Every now and then, I get to go first.
Half of Leviathan's body was covered with blood, and a cold smile was on her face. Then, slowly, the pitiful prey that she had brought down fell over.
You pierced a human?
Elia, do you still not believe in our master's magic power?
Are you kidding me? You materialized in front of this many humans?
What is this? What?
Kasumi and the rest were flustered. He certainly seemed to have fired his gun. However, it hadn't hit Angie. And why was the person who fired hurt instead?
This is magic. Great job, Leviathan.
I am most honored. You foolish humans who dare to oppose our master. Now is the time of judgment. Prostrate yourselves.
Why? You shouldn't be able to bring magic into the world of humans! They shouldn't be able to see magic! And they shouldn't be able to be touched by magic! Why?
Because this is true magic.
What are you people doing? Kill! Kill! Kill!
One of the black suits who had finally come to his senses pulled his gun, aimed.
Like I'd allow you to disrespect the disrespect of pointing a gun barrel at our master. Die!
Those words were a requiem. The man's chest had already been pierced by Lucifer, who had become the stake of pride in an instant. The sound of the second person falling, the black suits now realized for certain that their lives were in peril. Save me! Instantly, one of the black suits doubled over in shock and turned on his heels to escape from that place. The stake of sloth. Be thankful that your violence against our master will be repaid, and with this alone. Die! In his right eye, a hole as big as a walnut opened, and his head split. Belphegor was sprayed with blood, and her face twisted demonically, with the joy at being able to use her full power.
What? Who's that? Who's over there? Where are you?
The black suits were flustered,
Where's that?
pointing their guns in every direction. They didn't understand what was happening. They knew that something terrifying was coming for them from somewhere, but they didn't know where.
Dumbass! The enemy's right before your eyes! The witch's furniture is after you!
But they couldn't see, because they didn't believe in magic. They could not see. This is the Black Witch said, Satan, who was standing boldly right in front of a black suit. However, the black suit couldn't see her at all.
Do you think humans could see our forms? That they could follow us? Stupid humans! Time to pay a fool's price for forgetting your awe of magic.
Hey! What is this? What's going on?
You can't see it. Because you have no love.
Impossible!
Even there are so many humans here, even though the magic-resisting toxin is everywhere. Why can't you manifest your magic? Who are you? A witch. And unlike you, a real one.
What? Damn it! You bitch!
As though announcing his candidacy for becoming the fourth victim, one of the black suits pointed his gun at Angie. And the trigger was... Angie glared at him coldly and simply ordered. Die!
Next one. Satan.
Satan of Wrath already right here. Blockhead. You think a simple bullet could hit Anji-sama or us now?
The stake of anger pierced and smashed the bullet fired by the black suit. He straight on towards the man's face.
Know your foolishness and regret in hell. Die.
With a terrible explosive sound, the upper half of the man's head was smashed. Bathed in scattered flesh and blood, and quickly asked one more question.
Hey, Aunt Kasumi. Do you still not feel like believing in magic?
There's no way something so ridiculous can exist. I won't accept it. There's no way magic exists.
Yes, that's right. There's no way magic exists. There's no way witches exist.
Magic exists! Witches exist! Ryu!
That's right. Magic exists. Witches exist. And in this world filled with anger and sadness, it can become the key that opens the door to the world of happiness. I won't let someone like you deny that.
The key to a world of happiness lies in every person's hands! No one has any right to steal that away!
You pitiful human who cannot understand this. If there had been magic in your life, it would probably have turned out differently, becoming much more peaceful. When I think that in your entire life you were never able to meet with a true witch, I pity you.
Kasumi let out a piercing scream. At the same time, two of the black suits
Came for me at once, thrusting their guns at my head. Like they were trying to use me as a hostage against something their eyes couldn't see. Against the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, who had now reached the level of weapons. This was completely pointless.
Damn, where are you? Keep on attacking and this bitch is dead! Show yourself!
What the hell is he saying? And his guts look so tasty. 2. Anji-sama, leave the next one to me.
Go ahead. Kill him.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Die.
The man's chest split and his guts poured out. This terrible way of dying threw the other man into a total panic. However, Asmodeus' form was already at his back, grasping his neck and smiling obscenely. Asmodeus. Kelly!
Jelly?
What a cutie. Hey, where do you want to get pierced? Auntie-sama, got any ideas?
The head.
Hey, boom, headshot! Oh, certainly, my master. Die.
The final black suit had his head smashed by the stake of lust, and his insides scattered. He twisted and fell. In the gruesome world where 6 people lay in a sea of blood, witch and human confronted each other.
Sumadera Kasumi. I sympathize with your sad life from the bottom of my soul. I'm willing to grant you magic that can seal up that unfillable hole in your heart. If you can believe, that is.
Don't be ridiculous. I will never accept something like this. Eek.
As Kasumi, who was scared out of her wits, stepped backwards, she picked up a handgun that someone had dropped. Then, shaking, she pointed it at Angie.
That's right, Kasumi. Shoot with that gun! Turn your hatred into a bullet and shoot!
Eek. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. If I don't kill you, I'll never be paid back for the life I've lived.
Yes, kill! Pull the trigger! Do it! Take all of the anger and pain from your shabby life until now. Use it all against her! If you don't, you won't be released from your pain and anguish!
Stop it, Aunt Kasumi. You mustn't listen to the Black Witch.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Because of your mother. My entire life has been a wreck.
In that case, my magic might be able to turn that life into something bright and peaceful, bit by bit, starting now. If you can believe in magic and just have a change of heart, I'll be able to open the door to a new world for you.
There's no such thing! The salvation she speaks of is obviously some fairy tale! Your life is going to be covered with thorns until you die anyway. Let her hear that cry of agony. You can't regain anything that was lost, right, Sumadera Kasumi?
That's right. You might not be able to regain anything. However, I know you'll be able to create something new. So, Aunt Kasumi, throw that gun away. I might be able to teach you too about a world of happiness.
Hey. You know, because your mother ran away, I was forced to marry her fiancé in her place. There's a man I'd swore I'd spend my life with, and I was forced to break up with him. You think you understand how I felt when I was forced to be wed in your mother's place and was held by a man I barely knew? I wanted to kill her, but Nason just went and died on her own. That's why I'll kill you. Otherwise, my thorn life will never end.
From Kasumi's eyes, tears of passion dripped down. So pitiable. You go.
This person's tears were so clear and beautiful. But for that very reason, she hadn't been able to fully withstand her sad pain, and been given no choice but to listen to the Black Witch's temptation. So sad. In that case, I'll at least release you, your soul, for all eternity, and free you from the bonds of resentment. That might be the only bit of charity I can give right now.
Die, Ushirama Mia Angie!
Goodbye, Aunt Kasumi. Take a long rest in a quiet world. I no longer feel anger or hatred for you. I just want to let your soul rest in peace.
Kasumi's handgun spat fire. Slowly that bullet continued through a world frozen to its utmost limit, aiming for Angie's forehead.
Mammon,
Yeah! Mammon of Greed, right here!
thanks.
Huh?
Because I met you in Sakataro, I was able to understand everything.
Angie!
Look away, Sakataro. Mammon. Release that woman. And protect the honor of Mariage Sorcière.
Yes! Prepare yourself! Sumadera Kasumi!
When the world was frozen, the stake of greed flashed like lightning. I already gotten behind Kasumi.
If there's any virtue in you, we'll meet again in the mountain of purgatory. Die!
The upper half of Sumadera Kasumi's head was smashed. Her cage of flesh was shattered, and she finally released.
Next is you. The Black Witch. By now, I think even the fact that you look like Aunt Ava is inexcusable to her.
If my form still looks like Ushiromiya Ava, that means you still haven't been able to forgive me inside yourself. I understand, Angie. Even if you want to be released from your thorn-filled life more than anything. In that case, I thought of something interesting. I'll show you magic as well. I won't be the one to kill you.
With the worst of smiles on her face, the Black Witch changed her form into something like a black mist. Or else a vast swarm of black flying insects, which began to whirl around me. Then that black mist began to gather bit by bit, shaping itself into the form of a human. What's this supposed to be?
You've got at least a vague idea, don't you? It's the woman you hated and despised the most. The woman you who hated and despised you the most.
When the black mist cleared, over there was Aunt Ava's form, as she had been during her life. Her hands were holding a gun. Aunt Ava died. Long time no see, Angie. I've come back from hell to kill you. Aunt Ava glared at me with a mad laugh. But I'm not that surprised. Aunt Ava was that kind of person. I imagine my funeral came as quite a relief to you, right? I feel the same, since I'll never have to see your face again. But I had just one regret. And this is it. Killing me? Was that your last request? How pitiful. Even after death, my aunt wasn't released from her pain. The Black Witch's power is itself the source of my magic. Anger and hatred taught me how to work hard and persist. Completely indifferent from this magic to escape reality that you speak of. The magic you speak of is nothing more than stress reduction through outbursts of anger. Our magic is different. It can remake the entire world. It's in a totally different class than your wicked magic. In that case, let's settle which is the victor right now. Black or white? You see my black magic miracle, reviving even after death and pointing a gun at you like this. How exactly do you intend to stop that with a miracle of white magic? I've surrounded you with the anti-magic resisting toxin. You can't call the Seven Sisters anymore. That miracle just now won't occur again. Having it occur despite all that is why it's called magic. Okay. Mammon, lend me your power. But Mammon didn't respond. She didn't appear. Certainly, as she'd said. The magic-resisting toxin had burned everything up like a wasteland parched by a blazing sun. This might be a little tough. It's useless to call out. Never again. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory will never answer. And being able to call them even so is what makes it magic, right? How pitiful. So long, Angie. The few days we spent together were fun in their own way. This is goodbye. Aren't you glad that the end of the line for you turned out to be this place? Yeah, seriously. How thoughtful of you. Thanks. Then this is farewell. The barrel of the gun rose slowly, so you can see all the way down it. Then, the trigger was slowly. At that moment, the gun exploded. It wasn't that it fired. It burst. You're kidding me. In shock, inside a frozen space, Ava looked at the ruptured gun. When time melted, the fragments would probably smash into her face all at once.
Mammon of Greed. Right here.
You're kidding me. Behind Ava's back, Mammon stood. She had already penetrated the target I had given her, which was the gun. Is this enough magic for you, Aunt Ava? Angie. Then, time melted. The fragments of the burst gun and exploding gunpowder burned her face. Letting out a shrill scream, she covered her face and rolled around. It was pitiful. Your luck was bad. This game is over, Aunt Ava. I signaled to Mammon, so that Ava would be freed quickly from the pain of her burnt face as she writhed around. Thank you, Mammon. This time, I want to apologize again, and from the bottom of my heart, for calling all of you powerless on that day in the classroom. You were excellent furniture for protecting witches.
I'm the one that's grateful. I feel truly honored at being able to meet a good witch, a good master in the end, and at being able to fulfill my duty as furniture.
Mammon had understood. This would be the final job I'd give her. Mammon quietly walked up to me. Then she looked down at Ava. Aunt Ava, thanks for sticking with me for so long. This is farewell. Have a nice dream. See you in hell. Good. And the light sound of her forehead being bored into rang out.
The battle of gunpowder, smoke and fury, of white and black magic, ended. I have no idea who's saying this. I'm just gonna assume Angie Go.
Sorry, dog barks.
Okay.
I get the feeling it was a long, truly a long journey. And the world slowly sank into darkness. The stars that should have been sparkling lay not in the sky but were scattered beneath me. When I realized that the pearl and ruby made a red and white stream, I noticed that it was a vast nighttime scene spread out below. I was in the sky of that nighttime scene, neither standing nor flying, but simply floating. From nowhere in particular, I could hear a clap, clap, clap. A truly dull applause. I know. It's the one who ordered me to go on a journey. Berncastel.
Congratulations, Endless Witch, Angie Beatrice. At the end of your travels, you understood everything about magic.
Yes. I now understand everything about magic. I am a witch. The last witch who inherited the magical world created by Mariar Saucier.
No one besides you can tear Beatrice's world to pieces.
Because I know witches, I learned how to resist them. Magic is made of love and sadness and anger. No matter how cruel a witch Beatrice might have been, the source of her magic is exactly the same. And that's why I wish I could leave that world of hers alone. After all, in her eyes at least, that world is complete.
But then you'd have to give up on your family.
That's right. So, I don't like doing it, but I have to fight. The very reason I left on this journey to become a witch was so I could bet on the faint chance that I'd be able to take my family back someday.
Unless you kill Beatrice, only worlds of isolation can exist for you. As one who has traveled to billions of fragments, I guarantee it.
I understand. I can't afford to have compassion. I must make my heart a demon and tear her to pieces.
It's good that you're steady in that resolve. I was worried that, as another witch like her, you might grow attached and lose your will to continue.
It felt a bit hollowing hearing that from a person whose face was almost always expressionless. Berncastel. The mysterious witch who invited me on this journey. At times, I've suspected that you might have lied to me.
Why?
I am the Angie of 1998, so even if I'd save my family, they will only be saved for the Angie of 1986. They won't be saved for me. So I've sometimes felt like I was being deceived.
That is correct. I deceived you.
But now I'm grateful. After all, in the end, you did teach me how to get my family back.
I didn't teach you anything. If you know something, it's because you've reached that mental state by yourself as a witch. That mental state is different from my own. I personally cannot understand it, but if that's the truth, then congratulations.
I'm not a player in this game, but a piece. You said that to me, right?
Yes, I said it.
Now, I fully understand that role. A piece doesn't need emotions. It just has to give its all for victory's sake.
Yes. That is correct. A game requires that you each make the best possible moves, right? If your moves get distorted by hesitation and confusion, your opponent will be confused as well.
Sorry, Beatrice. But don't hate me.
Ushirumiya Anji still needs her family.
Oh, wrong character. So I have the right to fight you, so that I can take them back. And you have the responsibility to be challenged by me to a fight. So, don't hate me. In exchange, if you do win in this game, I'll give you my blessing as well. Come on, let's go. As the piece I am, it's finally time for my true turn. Sorry, Beatrice. I won't hand my Oni-chan over to you! The world whitened. It wasn't white. It was a gold color, as bright as can be. There was the beautiful Ushiromiya family rose garden. However, the flowers on all the roses were all gold. The nectar was also gold-colored. The butterflies gathered there were gold as well. This is the Golden Land. The promised land that the witches of Mariarso Sierra had finally been guided to. There, all wishes are granted, and all magic and dreams are born. In that garden of golden roses were two and only two witches. I appeared as an uninvited guest, making that atmosphere tremble with unrest. What was to them a wind of misfortune shook the golden roses. The incredibly beautiful scene formed by the golden rose petals scattered by the wind was clearly something not of this world. The two who had been taking a walk on a path of golden roses noticed me and were surprised.
Sanji? Beato! Sanji!
How did you get here? Leave us alone. I shall no longer invite anyone here. Beato spoke coldly. She seemed like a completely different person from the boldly sneering woman she had once been. She had closed off her heart and shut herself up in a world where she was alone with Maria Onechan. A world where she could always be alone with a friendly Maria Onechan. Lecturing about magic while drinking tea. With no one to hurry them, and nothing to hold them back. A world where not a single person who might hurt even existed. Yes, to the two of them it was a perfect small universe. Sorry. I can't have you shutting yourself up in here. We can't continue the game unless you come back. I said I stopped because I'd tired of it. I will not return to the game again.
Beato will always be here with me. Here, we'll drink tea together and think of lots of ways to play. You can play with us too, Anji.
Maria? I believe I said that mustn't happen. I am dissatisfied as long as I have you alone. Say that you two are satisfied as long as you have me.
Yeah. Thank you. The only person who needs me that much is you, Beato. So I'll be with you. Just us is enough.
Maria, thanks. I am grateful. Beato held Maria tight, even creating a small warm universe between their joined arms. It was probably the birth of the smallest universe in the world. The smallest universe in the world which a pair who needed each other could give birth to. No matter how small it was a complete world. But I had to tear it apart. Sorry. But I can't let it go like that. I came to smash this golden land of Mariar Sorcier. Why are you going to break my world? Are you saying that this world is causing anyone other than Maria and me trouble? You've left Oni-chan waiting all this time. In a game you started and then abandoned without finishing. If you don't return to your seat, the contest won't end for all eternity. There was no longer a single player in that game. Battler vanished and I did as well coming here. That game is already over. It is not over! You started that game, didn't you? Take proper responsibility and see it through to the very end. Will you defeat Battler and give birth to the world you truly wished for? Oh wait, fuck, wrong person. Can I redo that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Will you defeat Battler and give birth to the world you truly wished for? Or will you be defeated and everything swallowed up by your magic released? Take responsibility until the very end.
Don't, Anji. Beato will spend her time in this world alone with me for eternity. And I don't need anything else as long as I have Beato. Here, all wishes are granted. Everything is here.
This golden land is made up of nothing more than the crystallization of Beatrice and Omirio Naichan's thoughts. To drag Beato out of this world, I have to destroy it. I will destroy this golden land. Which must be a final peaceful world in Beatrice's eyes. One-chan, that's wrong. This golden land is a liar. It won't grant the one wish you truly want granted.
That's not true! Anything can be granted here! Oh, there's even a nice mama here!
Gold butterflies gathered behind Marina, forming into a kindly smiling Aunt Rosa. After smiling sweetly at me, became golden petals and crumbled.
Here anything can be created. Even Anji, even Battler, even Giorgio Nichan, even Jessica Nichan. You can summon as many as you want and everyone is nice. You come too, Anji, and let's play together.
Sorry, One-chan. And what about Sakutaro? Upon hearing Sakutaro's name, One-chan looked like she was choking. Stop it. Do not speak that name. Beato's expression changed as well, and she hugged Maria, guarding her shoulders. Sakutaro's name was still taboo for One-chan. Why can't I say it? It's the name of Maria One-chan's best friend. Why won't you invite that close friend to this wonderful golden land? Why, in the golden land where any wish can be granted, is Sakutaro the only one you cannot summon? That is... It's alright, Maria. You don't have to remember Sakutaro.
Sakutaro was killed by Mama!
Maria One-chan flew into a rage with a terrible expression on her face. Surprised by that voice, the butterflies through the garden flew up, blowing around like a typhoon of flower petals. Yes, I know. Aunt Rosa took your precious stuffed animal Sakutaro and tore him apart. Maria's scream became a storm that violently scattered the golden petals and leaves. It was truly a storm of gold. Stop! Stop, stop, stop! Why are you trying to reopen the wound in Maria's heart? Don't defile the sleep of this precious friend of both Maria and myself! In that case, why don't you revive that precious friend for her with your magic? I'd do it if I could! But that stuffed animal was an article Rosa created herself. The magical meaning of that individual object being torn apart is... Don't try to fool anyone. Why can't you revive Sakutaro? There's only one answer. It's because you aren't a real witch. I can revive him. With my magic, I can revive him as often as I want, like this. I could even bury this garden in Sakutaro's. Yeah, I'll bet you could, with your magic. But One-chan definitely wouldn't be able to see the Sakutaros you create. You know why, right? I'll say it again. It's because you aren't a real witch. 1 second, I need a drink.
No problem.
Sorry, it was over on my nightstand.
That's fine.
Stop it! Why do you keep saying such mean things, Sanji? Beato can use a lot of magic! She's a wonderful witch! She couldn't revive just Sakutaro, but she can do absolutely anything else! So I can at least do without Sakutaro.
No, One-chan, that's wrong. There's nothing a witch can't do. As soon as she couldn't do that, it was clear that Beatrice wasn't a real witch.
That's wrong! It's because Sangotaro's stuffed animal vessel was something Mama made specially herself,
And that's why she can't revive him. Is Beatrice's your magic so inconvenient? In that case, are you saying you can revive Sakutaro? Are you saying that you can do that with your magic? I can. What? Maria One-chan, I'll show you some real magic. I'll revive Sakutaro for you.
Really? Beatrice couldn't do it, right? Really?
Yes, I can. In exchange, promise me. Once I've revived Sakutaro.
Yes!
Leave this golden land. I will not permit that! This world is Maria's and mine. If Maria leaves, it will break. The minimum number of humans it takes to create a universe is 2. Otherwise, that world is destroyed. To drag out the witch shut away in the Golden Land, I'll have to destroy this world. Yes, that's the proof that you aren't a witch. A real witch can create a universe alone. The Mariage Sorcière Alliance of Witches. The very existence of this alliance proves that you aren't a witch. No! I won't hand Maria over. I hate you. Leave right now. Get out of here! Tracking everyone into a game of your own accord, then getting bored and chasing them out when your mood changes. How selfish can you be? Take a look, Beatrice. And you, Maria One-chan. This is true magic.
Will you really revive Sakutaro?
There's no way you can. This is a golden land for Maria and me alone. There is not a single spell that an outsider like you could use. And you, as you are now, you couldn't even create a single butterfly.
Be quiet, Beato! Don't get in Unji's way!
When Maria yelled, the storm suddenly stopped and the area returned to silence. The scene, as a massive number of golden petals that had been blown upwards quietly drifted down, was fantastical, as though a golden snow was falling. Maria, thinking about this unlikely, if only miracle, had unconsciously joined her hands together as though praying. Beato watched Maria do this, her heart racing. If the extremely unlikely were to happen, Maria would. This world would. But it's unthinkable. Absolutely impossible. That stuffed animal, which had been the only one in the world, was torn apart and thrown away. And not a thread remained. Reviving it was certainly and absolutely impossible! This is my golden land. A world where magic that isn't mine certainly cannot exist. If you think you can do it, let's see what you've got. Ushiromiya and As Beato's scream-like cry, the world lost its sound. I slowly recited the incantation for true magic. Come, try to remember. Maria's close friend, Sakutaro. Try and remember what form you had. Try and remember what a lovable stuffed animal you were. Expressions of shock rose to both of their faces. Then, pushing Beato's elbows aside, Maria dashed forward.
Sakutaro! Sakutaro!
Then, she clung to us both.
It's all right.
Alright.
Oh. Okay.
Sakutaro isn't going to disappear.
Are you? Maria, I'm home.
Sakutaro! 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 I wanted to see you so much.
It was, unmistakably, that stuffed animal lion. Sakutaro. Its softness, its texture, its stitches, its everything. Maria had forgotten. But the instant she hugged that stuffed animal, it all came back to her vividly.
Are you? Maria, I'm home.
Sakutaro! Sakutaro! Is your body alright? Does it hurt anywhere? Even though something so horrible was done to you, are you okay?
Are you? And you revived me with magic, so I'm perfectly fine.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Welcome back, Sakutaro!
From now on, I'll always be with you, Maria. Together for eternity. So, don't let go of me, okay?
Yeah, won't let go. For all eternity.
Then, still hugging Sakutaro, she looked up at me with tear-filled eyes.
Thank you, Anji. Anji's magic is amazing. How? How can you revive Sakutaro? When Miyato couldn't do it.
Impossible. Impossible. How? How can a human other than me use magic in my Golden Land? This is completely impossible. What are you so flustered about, Beatrice? This is magic, right? There's no way that's magic! This is my Golden Land. A world where magic that isn't mine certainly cannot exist. And my magic was not able to revive Sakutaro. There's no way it could. That stuffed animal was a special stuffed animal. Rosa made it for her daughter's birthday, and in the entire world, only one. See, it's magic, right? With this miracle that she could not possibly accept, Beato understood all of my magic. She looked at Maria and saw Kotaro innocently frolicking around, looked at me, and then fell to her knees, with even her hands pressed to the ground, and cried.
Beatrice! This really is magic, right? Magic, right? Beatrice!
Indeed. It is magic. It is real magic.
Why can't Auntie use the magic that even Beato couldn't? Why? Why? Angie's amazing! Angie's an amazing witch! A real witch is much, much more amazing than me!
Yeah, that's right, Oni-chan. I am the Witch of Resurrection, Anji. There's nothing that can't be revived by me.
Amazing! Incredible! Even Beato said that the magic of resurrection was the hardest. Anji's incredible! A really, real great witch!
At that time, Maria's and Sakutaro's forms flashed gold, and the forms of the two became golden flower petals that crumbled away. As the two became a golden wind and swirled together, they left for some other peaceful place, not here. Beato had, as promised, banished Maria from the Golden Land. Goodbye, Maria One-chan, and be happy forever. Don't worry, you definitely exist in One-chan's world too. But that doesn't refer to you. I am happy for you, Maria. As your close friend, I celebrate this reunion from the bottom of my heart. On Beato's face was a mixture of what probably every expression a human could muster. It was joy, anger, and sadness. That's the source of magic, isn't it? Without love, without sadness, without anger, magic cannot be seen. The ground shook. An earthquake. It gradually summoned greater and greater fissures, and began to tear Beatrice's final paradise apart. Golden butterflies fluttered about, trying to escape, but there was nowhere to escape to. And Beatrice was the same. The golden land began to crumble away. The earth crumbled downwards like a floor falling through, and Beatrice was sucked into the depths of a jet-black darkness. Then she was mercilessly slammed against a jet black floor. It was a dimly lit smoking room. There was no door to exit by, and while there was a window, it let no light into Beatrice's shadowy, smoky room. Even though Beato was moaning from the pain of being slammed against that cold, hard floor, she shakily rose to her feet. There was a seat there, and the game table, still just as it had been when she'd left it. The game board also remained in the same state that Beato had left it in. That's your seat. Sit. So this is the only seat for me to sit in? Beato put a hand on her own seat and laughed sadly. Win or lose. That's all you've been given. A tie during the process of reaching that point will probably be permitted. However, you won't be allowed to suspend the game and throw it away. Will you win and survive, or lose and disappear? Until one of those two things happens, you will not be permitted to rise from that chair. That should be your only duty as the host of a witch's game, as the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Laughing weakly, Beato sat in that seat. Then, she rested her elbows and covered her face with both hands, showing off a smile with nothing but her mouth. Not permitted to win or escape an unwinnable game. Then very well. Why don't I repeat this until I lose? Quit being so faint-hearted. Win. Use the best moves you have. You started this game. You have a duty to make the best moves possible. Give all that indecisive fooling around a rest. At that time, there was a violent sound. Beato felt a cold, pathetic sensation on her leg.
Gotcha. I finally got you, eh, Beato?
Oh, great Lady Lambadanta, is it? To think that you were still here. Beato's foot was caught in an ice-cold steel shackle, tying her to the chair she sat in. She would no longer be able to escape from this seat.
You won't be able to escape anymore, got it? I can be more persistent than I look. Surprised?
It's more surprising that you don't realize how persistent you look.
You're not permitted to leave early or suspend this game. We'll fight for all eternity in order to win, okay? You don't want to lose, do you? You want a little peek at the kind of wonderful world you'll be thrown into if you lose? Don't worry. You can win because I, the great Lady Lambadelta, will be looking after you constantly until you win for all eternity.
But even if I wish to fight, there is no opponent seated across from me, correct?
Don't worry. I found Battler.
When Bern Castell appeared and clapped her hands, Battler appeared from the sky and plopped into the opposite chair, Battler's eyes were slightly opened, but there was no sparkle in them, almost like a doll's. Without one of the pillars that established his soul, he had fallen into the depths of darkness, and had been drifting about all this time. He could have been scattered and disappeared like mist. Brooke Castell had managed to scrape him together. It's incredible that she managed to bring him back into a human form. However, even though his flesh had returned, his soul had not. It had been blown away by Beatrice after having its existence denied. It wouldn't come back easily.
Battler won't run from this fight either.
Not until he defeats you.
Just because your chances of winning are shrinking doesn't mean you'll be permitted the inelegance of abandoning everything and running. Even he doesn't want that. Isn't that right, Ushiromiya Battler?
Battler didn't answer. His heart was still dead. His eyes wavered slightly at the question, but he couldn't answer. Battler! Get a hold of yourself! You are here. And the enemy is before your eyes. Fight! Fight to win! Battler lazily repeated that, speaking incoherently. He'd come back. The wound he bore in his soul was no small thing. That was only natural. Beatrice had woven her red, and he had been denied. He'd learned that the mother he'd respected was not his birth mother. And he didn't know who he was. He was not Ushiromiya Battler. Don't talk stupid! You are Ushiromiya Battler, no one else! No matter who acknowledges that or denies that, make sure you believe it yourself. After all, you are the only one who can create your own world. Don't lose the world where you're Ushiromiya Battler.
Then, who am I? I'm not my mom's child, right? Where was I born from?
Battler asked that question as his eyes, which still hadn't regained their sparkle, stared lazily up at the ceiling. Of course, she answered right away. Yes, that's right. Beato proclaimed it with the red truth. So I'll proclaim it too. Ushiromiya Battler is not Ushiromiya Asamu's son. In that case, he's not qualified to be the opponent in my game, correct? Beatrice, repeat it. Ushiromiya Battler is not Ushiromiya Kinzo's grandchild. As Beato wrinkled her forehead, a painful-looking smile rose to her face. So you refuse to repeat it. Beato proclaimed two red truths. You are not Asamu's son. And no one except Kinzo's grandchild Battler is qualified to be her opponent. The following theory will allow Battler to be accepted without creating any contradictions. Here's my blue truth. Listen to it. The one who is qualified to be Beato's opponent is Kinzo's grandchild, Ushiromiya Battler. And whether that person is Asamu's son or not is not an issue. In other words, you can be Kinzo's grandchild even if you are not Asamu's son. As long as you are Rudolph's son.
It was just a silly word game, wasn't it?
Your blue truth is valid. Beato, your counter-argument with the red truth. If you cannot counter it with the red, Battler's qualifications as an opponent will stand unchallenged.
Battler was still out of it. He still couldn't really understand what she was saying for him. But even so, his spirit was starting to come back, bit by bit.
Then, who am I?
Get a hold of yourself! You are Shiromiya Battler. Yeah, maybe Mother Asumu didn't give birth to you. But so what? That doesn't change in the slightest the fact that she was a mother to you, right? For example, what is a Shiromiya Anji to you? You might not share the same blood, but she's still your little sister, right? It's not about blood. It's about bonds. Right?
That's right. Even though we don't share the same blood, Angie is my little sister.
Say it in red. Say that Anji is your little sister.
Angie is my little sister. Ah, I could say it. She hugged Battler, who was still in and out of it and slumped into his chair, strongly from behind. So much that it hurt.
I don't know why Mother Asumu wasn't your birth mother. But still, up until today, and even now, you believe that she's your birth mother, right? In this world, there are plenty of people without even a mother. Without even a family. Did Mother Asumu ever make you feel lonely? Never, right? Don't throw your peaceful family away so easily. Your family bonds have gotten too thin after leaving your family for 6 years. You have to feel those family bonds much, much more strongly. Remember, for Mother Asumu's sake as well, don't lose your love over a foolish witch's rant like this.
You're right. Mom was always on my side. Where is this place? It's dark. I want to go home. Where's all my family? The light still hadn't returned to Battler's eyes. The tears appeared.
Your little sister is waiting at home for you to come back. Even if you don't come back, she'll be all alone forever. For your little sister's sake, please, win this witch's game.
Angie. My little sister. But I still don't get it. Why do I have to keep repeating this incomprehensible, cruel game with Bieto? I've had enough.
In that case, settle this game quickly and go back home. Shiromiya Battler. How long are you going to play around in a place like this? Your little sister is waiting for you to come home.
That's right. Battler had been caught up in this strange game before he even knew it. And still unable to understand why he was fighting, he had been constantly sucked into this witch's pace, played with and made to fight. It should have been his most simple and first question. Because he didn't understand that, he had lost his purpose in fighting. Oh.
That's why my voice won't reach Battler's ears. Instead of a vague purpose like winning against the witch because he couldn't forgive her. He has to be aware of a purpose for which he must win.
That's right. I want to go home. I want to go home to Dad and Mom and Angie. I've had enough. Enough of this place. I've had enough of witches. I've had enough of games and murders. Enough. Enough.
Battler's soul is starting to come back.
But it can't quite reach. You've had enough. Right. Then fight, so that you can return to your family. Destroy Beatrice, and go home.
No. I've had enough of witches. Enough of Bieto. Enough of everything. And even you're probably just another one of the witch's allies. I can be betrayed again at any time. I can't trust anything! I can't trust any words that aren't read. Don't bother me. Don't bother me!
Battler's soul
Battler's-
howled.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, back to
Yeah. She hugged his head from behind, strong enough that it hurt.
hurry up and come home, Oni-chan. Don't leave me all alone.
Who are you?
It's me. It's Anji. Dad and Mom and Oni-chan. No one came home. I'm so lonely. Please, hurry up and come home.
Angie. You're... Angie?
That's right. I'm Anji. The Ushiramiya Anji of a world where no one comes home. My entire family never came home from Rikenjima that day. The witch before your eyes stole away my whole family, even you. Only you can finish her, Oni-chan. Finish her. And take your family back. And then come home to me.
You ever did that to my family?
As she says, I will not run away or hide from it. I stole Shiromiya Anji's family away from her. Battler is my toy. His father and mother are both my toys. I won't give them back to you. You may continue to wander all alone forever, awaiting the return of a family that will never come back.
From Angie's arms that held him, the painful, sad days that had been experienced by his lonely little sister flowed into Battler. Because he'd been playing around in a place like this. His little sister had been left all by herself, had been forced to endure all that pain. Angie! Angie! Damn. What am I doing? Thanks, Angie. Your Oni-chan's been forgetting something important this whole time! Battler tried to turn around, but Angie was hanging onto his head with an incredible force, so he couldn't turn back. Was it sweat? Hot drops were splashing on the nape of Battler's neck. What they were, he knew from holding Angie's arms that clung to him, because it stained Battler's hands, his fingers, red. Blood. Angie? Are you okay? Hey! It dripped and splashed. He didn't know what was going on. Battler didn't know because he couldn't turn around. The hot drips that stained his entire back were surely blood.
In order to save you, Oni-chan, in order to come here, there was a single rule I had to follow. This is it. Letting you, Oni-chan, know that I was Angie. It was so hard. Even though Oni-chan was right before my eyes, I couldn't even say that. As long as I followed this rule, I should have been able to stay by Oni-chan's side for all eternity. You and me together. To play in the game against the witch. For eternity with Oni-chan. But that's no good. Oni-chan, you have to come back. Your sister's waiting for you at home. that person isn't me. But this way, your sister will be saved.
Angie! Angie! There's so much blood. So much. So much. He wanted to turn around, but Angie was gripping his head too tightly. However, judging by the blood that was pouring out and Angie's pained breathing, he realized that something seriously wrong was happening to her right now.
Don't worry. I am only a piece. You know, in chess, they have this move called a sacrifice.
What? Who cares about chess? Let's get you some first aid quickly. Let go for a second, Angie.
A sacrifice is an abandoned piece. For a tactical gain, you intentionally accept a loss and let a piece go.
In chess, the ultimate goal is victory. So if it can bring you victory in the end, there's nothing wrong with sacrificing a few individual pieces. Angie had coolly made a decision. She had been taught over and over again that she was a piece, not a player. In order to act like a piece and save Badler, right now, she'd have to become a sacrificial piece herself. Badler had to know. His purpose in the witch's game couldn't be something as abstract as finishing off the witch. He had to win the game, release himself, and bring his family back home. Why? Because he had family, a little sister who was waiting for him to come home. A being was created so that Ashurmia Angie's voice could reach you.
That's me. Angie Beatrice. I'll sacrifice the piece I am to give you the will to fight. To give you purpose. My purpose isn't to play with you in a witch's game for all eternity. I came to bring you Ushiri and Angie's mourning and sadness. That is my unshakable purpose.
Angie! Angie! Ah! The white, thin arm that held Battler became pale and transparent, almost like wax. And even so, the fresh blood stained it so cruelly.
I'm disappeared now, but Oni-chan, fight with all you've got. And I'm sure you'll come back to me. I'll be waiting. Always. I'd planned on helping you out a lot more than this. But I couldn't do anything. Sorry.
Don't worry about that. You taught me, didn't you? You taught me why I have to win. And that, I've got to win for certain. And come back to you! What am I doing lazing about in a place like this? Yeah, I won't play around anymore. 'Cause I'll come back. I'll come home. I'll definitely come home, bringing a souvenir. I promise.
I don't need one. So promise me one thing.
What? I'll promise anything.
In a second, I'm going to take my hand away. It must have hurt, right? I held you so tightly. I held it so tightly. I'm okay. So you don't have to turn around. So, in the end, let me see the coolest part of you. Oni-chan, rise from your seat. Point at the witch before your eyes. And announce that the game will start up again.
Angie's hat had slid and disappeared behind me. There were bloody fingerprints left behind, blurred by her fingernails. But I turned around right away to take care of Angie's wounds. Angie! Hey, Angie?
Ah, crap, and you even promised that you wouldn't turn around.
Angie? Where? Behind my chair. As though about 10 watermelons packed with blood had been smashed. And there was a thick, sticky, pulpy mountain. And around that mountain of blood and minced meat, the clothes and shoes of Angie had been wearing. They crumpled, or they'd been taken off and thrown away. As though just a human's insides had been pulverized and tossed there like scrap. As though Angie, who had been standing there until a second ago, had been crushed. Angie? Where's Angie? Where did Angie disappear to? Hey! Where did Angie go? The two young-looking witches said nothing. Silently looked at the mountain of blood and meat and clothes. But I didn't want to accept it. I definitely didn't want to accept it!
I was right in front of you. I was watching the whole time. Watching what happened to Angie behind you.
Do you know? Where did Angie go?
While she still lived, pinch by pinch, massive red-hot pincers tore chunks of flesh the size of a thumb off of her and threw them away. I was watching. I saw as countless tools burned red-hot in the witch's furnace approached Angie from behind, and one bit at a time pecked at her, twisted her, ripped chunks off her, and tore her to pieces. Angie should be proud. In order to share some last words with her brother, she stopped herself from gasping at that pain until the very end. She should be proud of that.
As if something like that could have happened. But on top of that mountain of flesh and clothes, what had fallen there was without a doubt what she had been wearing on her head. Those pink jeweled hair ornaments. To be honest, I thought they were a bit too childish for her and didn't suit her. But I remembered them well. Why did Angie wear such cheap hair ornaments all the time? No. I thought that this Angie couldn't possibly be...
You're pretty blunt, Beato.
Battler didn't see it. So he could have just said she turned into butterflies and flew away or something.
You guys also saw that happen? You saw Angie get torn into little bits? You were watching, and yet you stayed so calm the whole time? Without answering, Berncastle, Lambda Delta, and Beatrice stared at me. Some in pity, others in derision, watching me. Since she'd called herself Gretel. After what had happened with Virgilia in the last game, I thought she might be Beato's underling. I've been wary of her, not trusting her even though she was an ally. And then, learning that it was truly Angie, not even being allowed to see her face. I turn around and find something like this. Ah!
Why does it matter? All this about your little sister.
What did you say?
After all, you'll never return from this place for all eternity anyway. Whatever happens to your little sister in a world where you don't come home has nothing to do with you. As long as you play here, the Angies of countless worlds will live in isolation. And the same pain of her final moments just now will be forced upon her, spread over a period of more than a decade. However, that is of no importance, correct? It cannot be seen by you from here. You cannot observe it. And an unobservable fact cannot be proven except by the red truth. Therefore, your anxiety over Angie's misfortune after this may be needless. She might surprisingly be able to live a casual life without ever having to work thanks to Rodolph's inheritance, right?
That's a lie. From Angie's arm. Every part of that sad future world had poured into me at an instant. It's all because I keep on lazing about forever and playing in a place like this. I never thought about anyone but myself. I must defeat her. I'll take back my family. Back to where Angie's waiting. And come home as soon as I can. Because even as I hang around with the witch like this, Angie continues to be torn to bits by sadness. Angie, is this what you wanted to see? It was the cruel witch who had indifferently spoken of Angie's brutal last moments. Slowly, yet with all of my might, I pointed. Beatrice.
Indeed.
Resume the game. I won't run away anymore. And I won't let you escape!
Bring it on. I can no longer escape or hide. Let us decide this between you and me for good. One shall win. One shall lose and be destroyed. No other resolution can exist.
I'll win. No matter how long it takes, I'll definitely smash you! There aren't going to be any more compromises, interruptions, or losses by default in this contest! I won't run away! I won't let you get away! Try and defeat me with everything you've got. Absolutely no need for stupid tricks and deceit, for intermingling and acting friendly. You and I are enemies! Settle this as soon as possible. Bring my family back to Angie!
Unwavering resolve, certain willpower. The certain willpower of a human becomes certain magical power. That leads to a miracle, and promises that it shall be so. Yes, this is a promised certain miracle. Are my chances of victory not even 1 in a billion? No. Is it certain that there is not even a fragment of a miracle that can make my victory happen? Before I knew it, a cold, stiff chain had bound my other leg without a sound, tying me to the chair. All that's left is to either be killed and lose to Battler, or resist and continue in an endless tie for all eternity. Or perhaps I should say it's to continue tying until I've prepared my heart for death. Either way, I must fight to lose, and nothing more. I have already been bound by the chains of eternity. And Battler won't let me escape either. Should I pathetically beg his forgiveness? Should I beg for compassion by appealing to his pitying heart? Should I forget appearances and prostrate myself? Because of the chains, even that choice will not be granted me. Checkmate. This is a perfect stranglehold. However, I am the Golden Witch Beatrice, the Demon Lord of Gold who reigns in the Golden Land. Even in a fight to lose, there is an attitude fitting for me. And I have the right to adorn my death in a manner suited to me. I am no different. I'll make you accept the existence of my magic, and the door to the Golden Land will open on this island. You shall become the guest of honor at that first tea party. Everyone besides you is gathered already, you see. Because the honored guest's arrival has been delayed, the tea party cannot begin. Your father, mother, cousins, and everyone else are getting tired of waiting for your arrival.
Sure, that's perfect. That's just perfect. What the hell is magic? What the hell are witches? I'm done playing with you. Here we go, Beatrice.
Come as hard as you can, for there will be no compromise, interruptions, or losing by default. One shall win, and one shall be destroyed. If you have no desire to lose, then you must defeat me. Kill me. However, I won't be killed so easily. Until you can prepare a fitting end for me, I can resist over and over again. Can you do that? No, you probably can. You surely can. Come on. Come and kill me. Is it that hard? Then let's go with the usual. As if I'd be killed. Even if I can't win, I can at least harass you enough to stop you from snatching victory, right? Oh, that's a good look on your face. Try and kill me. Try and kill me. Ushiramia. Batsura!
Ooh.
That in the chat, this book.
That is the end of this chapter. And Sunday will be the tea party.
Yes.
Yeah, so are we gonna do theories today, or even a 10-minute one?
If you guys, I'm perfectly fine with it. If you guys want to talk a little bit, we can. We don't have to have a super long discussion though.
If I may cut in real quick, I have something to share. And this is going to show why the anime is fucking awful. And a personal story with me. You know that scene where Angie's hugging the back of Battler's head, being like, "You go get him"?
Yeah.
Here, I want you to watch this fucking video and see where I cut.
Alright.
Anime is actually... Oh god, is... Oh, it's in French subtitles.
No, okay, but just
you just don't like where the blood came from?
Okay, so I have a story to share with this. This is actually the first thing I've ever saw of Umineko. The thing is I did not know it was from Umineko because all I saw was "anime is weird" as the title, and then it cuts to the scene right there at the end where I cut off.
For those that are watching, which hello, Morinda and Luyanami. Hello, thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming in. It's very rare that we have new people.
Be sure to subscribe.
Went from under her skirt down her thighs, which was very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I have a beef with Studio Dean. They always take the cheap way out when it comes to certain animation.
So well, it's not even cheap. It's just why do you show the blood coming from underneath the skirt? That scene.
So, and that is the last thing I remembered from Umineko, from the anime, because I watched the anime first years ago, and I barely remembered anything, but that was the last memory I had. Angie dying.
Yes.
So I knew that was upcoming. Still very sad.
Kind of wild because it's like I remember it was like
The anime is not
what
great.
I
yeah.
saw the anime and then wait was Umineko that Umineko anime, the weird fucking video I could no longer find on YouTube just called Anime is Weird.
I remember seeing an AMV where they I think it was like a rap or something and that part was done. And that was uncomfortable.
So,
That's
yeah,
just messed up, dude.
We'll get
not
to look
great,
at this.
but that is my
I get to
piece,
look at this one last time because we're not going to be seeing this opening anymore.
What do you mean? What about next time?
We're going to see it on Saturday or Sunday or whatever you said.
Maybe.
Should we
Yeah, it's
do the
Sunday.
theory thing?
You guys can talk for a little bit if you want to.
Okay, now go ahead.
But what I will say really quickly is, hey, new people, really glad you stopped by. It'd be cool if you followed because, as you can see, we are precariously close to reading a Catboy Otome visual novel for getting 100 followers. It'd be very funny if you did that.
That thing is broken. It should say 64.
It's super broken. We're at 64 people.
I will say this. If
I thought
may,
we were at 69.
If I may show my
No.
own stuff real quick.
We're not nice yet.
If I may show my own stuff prior to starting the theory crafting. If you like other visual novels or such like that, or maybe not other visual novels, but if
We're
you
reading Danganronpa on Josh's channel.
I read Danganronpa, Josh, my Twitch
Well, no,
channel
actually,
and
we
YouTube.
finished that. We're on Ultra Despair Girls.
So,
Which is still Danganronpa.
Okay. If I may show my own channel though, we have finished. What is it? I have parts of the Danganronpa 1 LP up on my YouTube channel at just digital Joshi. Additionally, that is not finished yet. College has been a bitch, so I haven't been able to finish that. I will say that on my Twitch though is the entirety of our Danganronpa 2 playthrough, which that is finished. And we are currently playing through Ultra Despair Girls, and after Ultra Despair Girls, I will be doing V3. So if you like those, just search up Digital Joshi anywhere.
Yeah.
You'll find me.
Other than that, sometimes I do things on Mondays. Wednesdays I've been playing through Deltarune again for people, and that's been fun. And then Fridays and Sundays we do Umineko. And then eventually we're moving on to other Rikishi's other works too.
Speaking of which, does that mean something is happening tomorrow?
No. Saturday I think is just gonna be a free day.
Thank God.
That's good by me.
Yeah.
I did a lot of voice acting there. Really dry.
And you will be doing a lot of more voice acting on Sunday because that's the tea party, and that's gonna be a very long tea party.
Are we just not going to part 5 tomorrow? I mean Sunday?
No.
No.
You underestimate how long these tea parties are.
Yeah, like
I thought they were like 20 minutes.
Our
Because I missed
Should
the
I
last
just
one.
drop how long this tea party is going to be?
I mean, here, I'll do it for you.
Sure.
The tea party and the question mark tea party are a combined total of about 3 hours long again, so we're probably gonna have to start earlier.
It's like 2.5.
Well, 2.5 for the first
2.5.
tea party, 20 minutes for the second one. So about
This
3
game
hours.
does not understand what a denouement is. Jesus.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask if we could wrap up now.
Oh, okay.
It's already 12:30 where I'm at.
Completely understandable, yeah.
Alright,
That was
By
a
me.
lot to
I gotta
take
go bed
in.
too.
I need
I
time
will
to
say-
gather my thoughts.
I will ask though, is there anyone else who probably particularly want to share their thoughts now though?
I can. Like, if Con, you want to, you can probably just head off now, and then you can probably catch up.
I can stick around for a bit longer to hear your thoughts.
Alright. You guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. I'm trying to find where I started on Umi notes, but yeah. So I guess that thing that was in that crate, was it a crate or something in the last session? The thing that she was like, "Oh wow, this couldn't be." Wow.
Oh, you mean in the display case?
Yeah, I guess that was the other stakes. Because I can't, because they never brought that back up again, and suddenly she has the other stakes.
I mean, in the anime, they actually show what it was. I'm not sure if I should even say it.
No.
You shouldn't.
That would be
No,
spoiler
I mean in the
territory.
anime that happened before this. Like,
I mean, I guess it's not the stakes then.
Will you show me? Can you DM me what it is? Or one of the people who do know.
Wow, that anime really did fuck itself over, didn't it?
The anime leaves out a lot of information. I guess I can kind of say
told me
this.
exactly what she was looking at.
Well, okay. Well, I mean that's not bad. Like you don't have to. Viewer interpretation is very important. Like you gotta understand, this is a thing that is primarily text based. They want you to use your imagination, especially because it's a mystery series. You're supposed to make educated guesses based on what's being said.
So, I found it also weird that Beatrice could make anti-magic talks.
Beatrice.
Beatrice, I'll read out your
Oh
tongue.
my god.
No. Only...
Just call her Ava Beatrice, okay?
No, that's way too long.
Beatrice.
I'm wondering why she can make anti-magic toxin, and also I'm wondering, did she revive the real Ava? Or
Because she's the Black Witch.
Oh, okay. That doesn't. That's a title, definitely. Okay, why? The answer though is why.
We could
Dark
just call her
magic.
evil. Yeah, dark magic.
I mean,
It's always like this. White
is
magic
it always like this?
Yes, even
Yeah.
in Final Fantasy.
I think even
I
in
never
some,
played Final Fantasy.
I think in some editions of D&D also have black mages and white mages.
Oh, hold on. Bring it back to Umineko.
Yeah, wait, hold on. So let's
White
bring it
mages
back
tend to
down.
use
Let's bring it
summons,
back
black
down
mages
to
tend
earth for a minute.
use, like, black
And I was
magic.
about to go ahead and bring that back. It would make sense for there to be black pieces and white pieces on a chessboard, so it would make sense for there to be black mages and white mages in a game involving this.
But didn't they say it was specifically anti-magic? That it is unconnected to magic? That is disconnected?
Well, if you think about it this way, the white pieces could stand to be actual magic, while the black pieces would be considered to be anti-magic.
So how could a magical being use anti-magic?
That I don't have an answer for.
Okay, you see, that's the thing.
It's like matter and antimatter. They both exist, but both together will cancel each other out.
Those exist, though. Like, those are a fundamental part of reality, and we're talking about, like, beings that exist without, outside of that.
I feel like it's splitting hairs at that point, then.
Anyway, I'm wondering if her existence, like, what the hell happened when Battler was covering his ears to even allow her existence to be a thing. How she can still be in existence. So, I wonder if there was some, like, loophole that was exploited or something in what Beato said.
Wait, cover his ears?
Yeah, remember there was the part where he covered his ear? So
The ending of episode 3, in which Beatrice uses a quote-unquote red truth that will deny the existence of witches. She asks Battler to cover his ears so that he will not hear it.
That said, it could have also been a completely separate being that just happened to superimpose the image of Eva on themselves. It could be a different being altogether.
That's kind of what my interpretation of that was. Like a collective animosity, collective hatred, there we go. Embodiment, that's it. An embodiment or collection of hatred, fear, anger, all that stuff involving from the Ushirimiya family that slowly influenced its way and gained more and more power the more hatred it was actually leeching off of or adding to all the other female Ushiromiyas.
Alright. Also, I guess Beatrice is just certain she's that she's gonna lose. She does not seem to think that Battler's resolve will decimate, so at that point, it's like, I guess she's just stalling for time.
And I guess that seems
Seeing
to
how
be
long she is capable of dragging this out as a test for herself.
You saw that red text. One of those things that actually did read was "Kill me now, just kill me."
That
She's
thing is going
resigning herself.
really fast. It is hard to see all of that, but I am looking currently at the GIF.
And I caught a
I'm not
couple of
saying
them.
please kill me quickly. That's something. Please don't
Yep.
take that out of context.
It's even in those manga panels. She wants it to be over.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's putting up a strong front even to the end, but she's begging for death.
She seems to be done with this shit.
She did get shackled to a chair. I think anybody would be done after that.
Oh, so I guess she's human. Or some shit. It's mentioned that two humans are needed to make a universe, so it's like, alright. I guess that's something. I'm kind of wondering what the definition of human is at this point.
Anything that can have flesh and blood?
She seemed pretty bloody. Angie seemed pretty bloody after that event. Like, she kind of just turned into blood. I don't know,
Oh, wow, actually, AC, you have a really good point. Just denying it to things that flesh and blood will also involve wolves, animals. Okay.
It's that issue of, like, behold, a man!
Or this distinguished gentleman sitting on the couch.
Behold, a man! And it just cuts to, like, a bear digging into, like, a trash can. But back to me.
Oh, I want to watch Aqua Teen now.
I gave my thoughts. I did a big cry when I saw the CG. It was very cute.
I'll admit I did shed a lot of tears during this.
Yeah, it's
Really
that's a good part.
Moments.
Also, I don't think
Umineko is really good.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't think you guys noticed it, but we actually read 2 chapters.
Really?
It just seamlessly transitioned into another one.
Yeah, don't worry, it probably split.
Like, at some point, the text, Angie assure me, appeared at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. It's just that I wanted to make sure that this wrapped up succinctly, because the tea party is fucking long.
So I've got a question.
Go, shoot!
Mm-hmm.
So, is Beatrice like the embodiment of hatred or something? Is she the witch of
Just
hatred?
We're not gonna answer
Avatrice.
Did you just fucking say?
Is Avatrice the witch of hatred?
No, don't give in, Roboot.
No one's gonna answer that.
I just said, is Avatrice the witch of hatred?
I won't answer that, but you can posit that as a theory to other people if you want.
Quite possibly.
What do you guys think? Yeah.
She's some sort of embodiment of hatred, because notice how she was trying to like egg people on and like to give into their hatred, let the hate flow through them. You know,
The epitome of the little devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Do it.
You know what? At this point, I don't even think she's Ava. I think she's someone else.
So then, which would mean that she actually did just keep Ava's appearance just because of Anji's own residual. No, not residual. Fuck, what was it?
Embodiment.
No, not embodiment. Lingering. There we go. Because of her lingering hatred of Anji, because of her lingering hatred of Ava.
I mean, that could also be residual hatred at that point.
Possibly. But if that's the case, then I want to see what their real form looks like.
Do you think we will, to the people that don't know shit, do you think that that thing will reappear?
Yes.
It has to.
It has to?
Well, I guess if we're going ahead and sharing thoughts on this. I found it interesting that Mammon was the one who actually did leap up to Anji and help save her from her aunt at the last second. And from Ava. That was some rad shit. Although, whenever Anji was hugging onto Battler's head, it reminded me of Orpheus.
Morpheus.
Yeah, but that'd be weird though.
Drinking a 40 in the
I love Persona 3.
No, Orpheus, not Morpheus.
Yeah, but that'd be weird though, because considering the context of that story.
I know, it just reminded me a bit of it.
But it's good to know. It was his girlfriend.
Oh, Zaz, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been here.
I wanted to hear these.
Orpheus Morpheus.
No, it said Orpheus, not Morpheus.
I know. We're it's a bit from what is the
Eric Andre.
show. But aside from the point, elaborate a little bit on the Orpheus analogy, minus the part about the girlfriend. Was the girlfriend like Eurydice or something?
Yes.
Right, you are.
Thanks, Hades.
Someone watched Hades Land.
In the version I read, it was more from Persephone that actually gave him the chance for that, because she buttered up Hades for that. And to be fair, Hades actually was a man of his word. The only thing Orpheus couldn't do is look behind. And Anji actually did tell Batla the same thing, to not look behind him and just to go ahead and show his cool side. Or at least just declare that the game was back on with the witch, but he turned around, and he saw what she had become. The same way with Orpheus, he decided not to trust Hades' word, and he turned around and saw that she was carried back into the land of the dead. Sometimes you just have to test and accept word from the one you loved and from the ones who actually have authority for it. Otherwise, you'd see something terrible.
I mean, that is an interesting analogy, but a bunch of red-hot pincers just kind of came up from behind and killed Angie.
But he didn't see them.
Yeah, fair enough.
All he saw was that she became a literal lump of meat. And that is kind of heartbreaking.
It's not that little.
I like this version of the story because it feels like that's happening, but then also Hades. There are 3 identical versions of Hades all standing in front of Orpheus, just like smiling and grinning at him as they watch his girlfriend disintegrate into nothingness.
Ouch. Well, you'd also remember, Beatrice didn't seem to be very gung-ho about seeing Angie go like that. More like there was nothing they could have done. Even magic has rules and limitations for these sorts of situations. And she did say that was the one rule she couldn't break. I don't know, it just felt something weird in me. It just hurt. Sorry, am I getting too deep?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just like it's like I don't know.
That happens.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add? You know, like.
I am glad that I will finally go into a Umineko that I have no knowledge in.
Yes, because we will probably do episode 5 next weekend, depending on if Sunday is completely unsullied, which you know how that goes.
So this is the end of the questions.
Depends on the weather.
Yep.
This is just about the end of the questions,
It's about the end.
Well, still got the tea party, so it's not the end, but
yeah, we still got the tea parties.
We still have
Congratulations,
epilogues
everyone.
to this story.
Congrats, everyone! We finished we almost finished the first half of Umineko.
Well, like how we didn't.
It's been going more quickly lately. It's been going faster.
Umineko like way later into the year.
When did we start Umineko again?
when did we end Higurashi?
Here, let me see. I have let me go to the first upload date on YouTube, which if you want to check our VODs, it's on YouTube.
Oh boy.
You can go there.
I also do edited versions of Umineko, but I have not been doing it because, again, college has been very busy.
Unfortunately, Joshi is not earning his $0 paycheck at the moment, which could be coming if you get us if we get more money. Wait, let me rephrase that. He might actually get money if we make money.
Please support us.
It'd be pretty cool.
It'd be pretty cool. You don't have to support us via monetary. You can just share shit. If the
first upload.
Just watching.
We don't say share our stuff a lot. We if
Even just watching helps.
Just share.
Support us, or I will be in your walls.
No,
except for me, read Beaglesaurus. I
Doesn't matter.
demanded almost constantly.
Don't worry, we'll be in your walls anyway.
I mean, if you go to my Twitter at or twitter.com/orangeboy, you'll see I'm in your walls right now. But at any rate, our first upload of Umineko, the VOD, is May 26th, 2021.
God damn.
So okay, it's been like almost half a year.
Sheesh.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, May. It's been 1, 2. Well, it's literally the end of May, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's taken us 7 months to get here.
That feels like an accomplishment.
I mean, for a live reading with a very limited schedule, I would consider that a somewhat decent pace. We had to reschedule a lot of days.
Yeah. Sorry.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I didn't put that into consideration.
Yeah. Yeah, very fun times. Very, very emotionally charged times, because there was a lot of shit going on.
Very.
Definitely.
But yeah,
Well, you don't like me pelting you with pennies?
No, stop! No, don't be nice to me. No, don't give me money. No.
Stop making fun of Nachi.
What? Hey, what the fuck?
Oh, please give us money. Oh,
I was thinking about stuff
worst.
again.
Look, regardless, hey, if we manage to get to 100 followers, maybe we can finally stop shelling for once. That'd be nice.
I won't stop shelling.
I mean, yeah, I know you won't, but I'll be pretty
And they don't
satisfied.
stop shilling, and they don't stop
Listen,
shilling.
never stop shilling.
I'll stop shilling when I get more attention.
Just chill respectfully.
Where I want attention so bad.
Well, that's good.
The fucking stream
I'm
cut at
so-
some point.
I'm so
There's like a
full of
30
things,
minute. There's like
yeah.
a 30-minute bit of the thing that may have gotten. Wait, what the fuck?
Bleh.
Oh, that's why the time was so fucked up. The stream cut out.
Oh, that's why.
I had the stream up the entire time. It
Yeah,
looked fine to me.
there was a 30-minute chunk during the first half where the stream just cut out for no reason.
Shit.
Really? I had the stream up. It looked fine.
So this has actually been a 4-hour-long stream. That's why the timing was so weird.
Wow.
The walls.
4 hours.
Wait, so we just have 30 minutes lost, or?
Yeah, no, we didn't lose 30 minutes. Basically, just the VOD got cut into a chunk, much like how Angie got cut into many small chunks.
No, she wasn't cut. She was pulled apart. Come on.
That's even horrible.
But anyways, enough jokes and bad taste.
Cut in half, chunk apart.
Tune in on Sunday for Kino, based and raw, the conclusion of the first half of Umineko.
Is it
Good
as
night,
raw
everyone.
as Angie is now?
Oh, very raw. She's been turned into a kind of ground beef.
How can
Almost.
you talk about the best character in Umineko like this?
I feel like Beatrice would eat her, or Lambda Delta, especially Lambda Delta.
Come on, man. Don't treat her like a piece of meat. Fuck! No! I didn't mean that! Fuck! Erase!
When someone says don't treat me like a piece of meat, Angie means that very literally.
She's really ground up about it.
Okay, we stop now.
Well,
Yeah,
you got beef.
This stream has been brought to you by Burger
You got
King.
beef with these jokes?
I wish I was high on pot
I'm
news.
just saying
puns,
that
I
none
hate
of.
it.
I just gotta say, all of these with all these jokes, and none of them are well done. I just.
I prefer my jokes medium well, thank you.
I find these jokes. I find like the stretches of time where we just do puns to be quite rare.
I don't get it.
We have some very
I
juicy
love and hate
jokes.
you guys at the same time.
The meat on the bone. Good night, everyone.